Hey YouTube, welcome back. Hopefully the light is still decent. We've had time change here in Atlanta. It's also pollen season in Atlanta, so everything is coated in a yellow coating, optic yellow coating. Anyway, quick update on the 2011. I had it up on the ramps last week, and there is something coating the back of the alternator with oil. Now it's not, it's not a huge amount of oil. It's not like when Donna the Diesel had the oil cooler leak, but it's a fair amount. I mean, it's enough that I want to take a look at it and try to find out what it is. So I'm pulling the front end off. I'm going to go through and take a look at these. I believe this is just an auxiliary cooler. This might be transmission cooler. I'm not sure. It's got an auxiliary radiator here. It's got the main radiator, and I believe this is the AC condenser. There's part numbers on all this, so I'm gonna take some pictures and look them up. But in driving this thing, I cannot figure out why they totaled it. Now I haven't had it up to 70 miles an hour, but on driving around on some private streets and some private property, the AC is ice cold. The steering is tight. The doors are rock solid when you close them. I mean, once I got the headlights plugged up and some other stuff, all of the faults went away. So I'm trying to figure out if maybe the plastic bits and metal bits that go up here were so expensive that they determined it wasn't worth the value of the car. But I can't figure out why they totaled it. It is a very nice 2011 supercharged L322. So I'm gonna continue to pull stuff off here. So about the only thing that I don't want to disconnect is the AC condenser. I don't really have a way to evacuate it. I don't have a way to fill it back up. I guess I could throw it on the trailer and take it up to a mechanic that I've worked with before, get him to evacuate it, but I don't, I'd rather not do all that. This thing has a million radiators. I think this might be transmission, or transmission is down there on the very bottom. This is an auxiliary for the Supercharged. I've got a duct coming for it tomorrow. I've also got a new part that goes over the front. It's ducting. I've got this. I've got the metal part. I need the plastic part. I need the bumper cover. I have a lead on all those. It's just a question of getting them here. That was just a quick update. Now, one other thing that we're going to do is I have yet to hear the fan run on this thing. Not the viscous fan, which is back here, but there's an auxiliary fan that goes out here, and it's electric. I've got it sitting over here on the test bench. I'm going to see if it will fire up, because I've had this thing sitting and running, idling, and the electric fan never comes on. Now it is still spring here. Today I want to say it feels like it's about 80. It's probably 75 and a little bit of humidity, but it's not 92 degrees or anything. So we're gonna keep taking parts off and try to figure out what that wet spot is, what the oil's leaking out of, and get that fixed, and then start putting things back together. So let's go over to the test bench and take a look at the fan. So here we are on the test bench. This is the electric fan that goes on the front of the 2011. This is an auxiliary fan. There's still a viscous fan, but this goes on the front end of the radiator. You can see, I think you can see, we got some fairly serious wiring here. I think this is either 10 or 12 gauge automotive wire. I've got some 10 gauge here, I've got some 12 gauge hooked up to a battery. I have yet to hear this thing spin, so I'm gonna try to fire it up. We got our battery here. Now I don't know if the signal wire, it seems to have a signal wire here. It's got black, red, and then a little white wire Might have a color on it. It's hard to tell because it's kind of dirty. But nothing. Nada. Not a damn thing. Nope. Okay. So I don't know if this thing's dead or not. I applied power to both just the positive, then I also sort of jumpered the positive in the signal wire. It's a little 3-pin plug, or a big 3-pin plug, and absolutely nothing happened. So this thing might be toast. So just a quick update on the 2011. Been taking some bits and pieces off. There appears to be either an oil leak or a coolant leak over on this side. It's leaking down onto one of the brackets for an idler pulley. So trying to get to that. While we got everything off, it's easier to try to get to that kind of stuff. Been getting a whole lot of parts. Have both headlights now. Got the steel front bumper. Have the plastic bumper support that goes behind the actual bumper cover, and trying to think of what other parts. I don't know. It seems like a lot. We've got some. Oh, there's a duct that goes out here, and then there's also an auxiliary duct for the supercharger that goes down here. But right now we're just going to take off the supercharger belt. First step in getting back to the idler. So this is the supercharger. This is the supercharger pulley, and the supercharger belt's out in front, and then back in the back. I don't know if you can see it, but it's there's a secondary belt that runs the alternator and power steering and AC and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to take it off. I'm dressed a little nice to be doing auto work, going to a soccer game today, which is a little unusual for me because I'm not a soccer fan. All right, so down on that tensioner, we're going to pull it out and take this off the supercharger. Made a diagram so we can get this back on, and we'll check all these pulleys. Anyway, I think I mentioned the reason I'm so dressed up and not actually prepared to work on this is because I'm going to a soccer game. Atlanta United. My mom and her Irish husband are up from Florida. My cousin Mike was kind enough to invite them up, and we're all going to a soccer game. So that's the first pulley off. Quite a bit of play in the supercharger. I think that's supposed to have 0 play. So there's a coupler. Unfortunately, the coupler's on the back end, so it looks like we might be taking the supercharger off too. The good thing is, I think that coupler, or that the bushing thing in the back, is like $15, but you've also got to buy the supercharger gaskets. We will later, when I'm actually dressed and ready for this, we'll be taking off I'll call it the primary belt that runs the alternator, power steering, AC, all of those things. So I'll see you again when I get more time. Hey YouTube, welcome back. Quick update on the 2011 Supercharged. You can see we've taken even more stuff off. I rode it around and had it running quite a bit, and I can't figure out why they totaled it. I think it was just, if the insurance company is going to go back with parts, they go back with all new parts, and so it's a lot of very expensive plastic. I'm, getting parts off of eBay, fixing parts where I can, and so I think we'll be able to put this thing back together. Now I did find an oil leak somewhere over here, and so I'm trying to get to that. And then also the supercharger, there's a coupler in the back of the snout, and it's supposed to have 0 play. This one has probably 20 or 30 degrees of play. I'll bring you in to show you that. So here's the supercharger coupling, and you can see that it's got a good probably 10-20 degrees of play there, and it's supposed to have 0. We've pulled the supercharger belt off, and I'm going to pull the primary belt off and try to get back into there. It's a little hard to see, but down in there's a bracket. Right now it's got a bunch of coolant in it, and I'm not sure if that is a coolant leak or if it's an oil leak, but the back of the alternator is covered in stuff. So I'm going to take a bunch of the stuff off the front of the engine. Eventually I'm going to make my way to take the supercharger off. I'm not going to bore you with a video of me taking it all apart. There's people that do a lot better job out there than I do. So when I hit a decent stopping point, I'll film some stuff for you. But that's what's going on with the 2011. Hopefully we'll get it apart, get it back together, and drive it around for a while, and then it may find its way on the market if we can get the refurbished title back and get it road legal. All right, just to finish up on what we did today, it is Masters Sunday, which is kind of a high holiday here in Georgia, so I'm going to go in and watch the final round of the Masters. Got both of the accessory belts off, the Supercharger belt. You can see how much play is in that thing, so we're going to end up pulling the snout off and replacing that coupling. In order to do that, I've seen that you got to pretty much take the Supercharger, not all the way off, but you got to get it to where it at least pops up. So we'll be doing that in the coming weeks. Did pretty good. I did break this little stupid nipple, so going to have to get a new one of those. But for the most part, most of the parts seem to be okay. I think this was, before I got it, it was sold not all that long ago. And so I can tell that somebody's been in here. And there's a lot of parts that I'm not having to replace. Both belts look pretty good. And so I'm going to pull the bracket down. Here's where the oil was. Right now it's full of degreaser, and it's probably also got some coolant in it from all the coolant lines. I took that off. Probably take the alternator off just to clean it up, take a look at it. It wasn't throwing any errors or anything, but while we're this far in, we might as well look at it. So I think today, for this update, that's about all the time I got. My time's up. I thank you for yours. We'll see you on the next one, YouTube.